Hey everybody, what's up? This is Dan McDonald and I'm talking to my friends Ivy and Denise here on a phone consultation, and we're going to be addressing weight loss and obesity, morbid obesity here, as well as arthritis and high blood pressure. And we've already been talking for a little while, and unfortunately the card got full and then I erased everything, so we're just going to get straight into the protocols here. I was suggesting to Ivy and Denise that they pick up my DVDs right now that are on sale because it's a great time, and then they saturate their brain with that information. There's a link down below this video, and then I was suggesting that they saturate their brain with that information, and the more you watch those DVDs and watch my videos on YouTube and read about raw foods and detoxification and keep yourself in that energy field, you'll be constantly being reminded and constantly having seeds planted in your head so that you can really get on point with this program here in this process. So right now, we're going to go into what I think that you can do, Ivy and Denise. Ivy is the daughter and Denise is the mom, so they're going to team up. So that's a great thing. If you can have a teammate, man, that is a huge, huge thing. I've been on a solo mission, but if I ever get around somebody that's at a higher level, I've always enjoyed it. It's hard to find people that are really living on point with the fruits and the vegetable juices, which is what I'm suggesting today. So, Ivy, you're going to want to particularly look at the Detox Mastery DVD. And also lose a pound a day. In fact, when you get the DVDs, watch Lose a Pound a Day first.
Okay.
Then watch Detox Mastery.
Okay.
And then watch Juice Recipes for Detox and Regeneration. And then also watch Juice Recipes for Energy and Peak Performance. Those four are kind of my weight loss detox protocol program. That'll keep you busy, but you'll want to watch all the DVDs because as you go down this path, you're going to want the knowledge and the inspiration and the information. At first, I suggested everyone go straight into the fruits and the green juice, which I will say it again and again and again and again and again, especially if you're like at the level I'm at. That's all you need. All you need is some fruits, whole fruits, especially now, it's summertime. Fruits and green juice. That's all I live off of. But if I want to put on a little muscle, or when you're in this state moving from obesity and you've got a lot of issues around food and you're coming from the restaurants and stuff, it's not bad. In fact, I think it's a better idea to have that knowledge to be able to make some kind of coconut almond yogurt dressing. Because I don't know if you know anything about that, but when you watch the DVDs, you'll know all about it. And you'll be able to, because that was suggested to me by Lou. And it made sense because what happens is people eat the fruits and the green juice, which are obviously the best. And that's when you're going to get on the accelerated program of weight loss. You're going to get on the accelerated program of releasing the acids that build up in the joints and flushing those out. And you're going to start flushing the kidneys and cleansing the liver with dandelion greens and things like that. But sometimes it's a bit too fast. So bringing in some of the more gourmet raw, I think is way better than going back to your old habits of the restaurants and the fast foods. If you can take the right, a little bit of garlic and some sea salt and cumin and paprika, which are more benign than the food additives. Now, it's not the food additives at the restaurants and stuff. They are like serious drugs. Like, they have scientific laboratories which design these chemicals. The rats go to the food chemicals more than the cocaine. They don't even care about the cocaine. They go right over every time, right back to the food additives. Okay, so that's how addicting those food additives are. And so that's why I think having the gourmet options and having the gourmet skills, I get a lot of beef for that in the raw community, but the thing is that I'm actually working with real people here with real problems. And so I'm trying to come up with real solutions, but I've always had to, out of authenticity and integrity, recommend 100% raw diet, because that's what really matters to my personal heart. And I think that gourmet raw, prepared properly, like low-fat, simple gourmet raw, is better than the cooked food. So that's pretty much my backup plan, is to learn more raw food skills, because raw living nuts and seeds, I think, are just more bioactive, more bioavailable, and more satiating and more energizing than a lot of the cooked dead food, is what I call it, because that's just, to me, that's just what it is. It's not a judgment on people, but for me, it was an addiction that took me many years to break, like pancakes and potatoes, things like that, which on one hand, they seem very benign, but for me, those were part of my exit strategies. And now with watermelon, it's not an exit strategy. Or green juice is not an exit strategy. It's just pure nourishment. So when I'm nourishing myself, that's one thing. But when I'm repressing and suppressing my emotions, even if you're skinny, you can still have a lot of repressed emotions. Usually the skinny people, they have other exit strategies, like all the exercise addicts. I was an exercise addict for years. I used that to escape my emotional confrontations. But there's a lot of obese people, maybe they don't use that exercise as an exit strategy, although it's a lot better one for your case. You know what I'm saying? So it can have healthy connotations, but when you get down to the deep understanding of really getting free emotionally, it doesn't matter what your exit strategy is. You want to learn how to sit still and be with yourself and love yourself the way you are and observe the pain being released, instead of stuffing it back down with donuts, stuffing it back down with food, stuffing it back down with pizza, stuffing it back down with carbohydrates. Okay, I'm talking about, does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I want you to start, this is something that it's not overnight. It's like, this is a process that takes place over time. You build more courage, you fall off the wagon, you knuckle down a little tighter, you recommit to loving yourself, you recommit to the path of health, you recommit to the weight loss, you recommit to loving yourself and really becoming an authentic human being that actually has to deal with their problems. Because most of us don't. We chase money, we chase relationships, we chase food, we chase power, we do anything and everything we can to distract ourselves from actually feeling and releasing and being present with those things that go against our mental constructs of life. Like, it should be this way, and if it's not, I'm going to freak out. Instead of being more open, more accepting, more just letting go and releasing into things that normally would bother you, with enough presence and enough awareness, you can begin the process of, a stressful day. You can, instead of going to get a cheeseburger, you can go or a cake or donuts, or usually it's sugar for stress. But for some people, it's more savory foods. It depends on where you're at. I know all about this stuff. Trust me. Just because I wasn't ever obese, that's why I did the bodybuilding, because it helped me to have this. The bodybuilding, I learned very recently, as I looked back over the years, was an excuse for me to have an eating disorder. You know what I'm saying? And get away with it. So does that make sense to you?
It does. It does.
Okay. And so we're releasing these exit strategies, and particularly in your case, it sounds like it's food. And so so that's like your probably in your awareness, Ivy. That's pretty much your main release exit strategy.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's everything. It's everything. The excitement, and I celebrate with it when I'm down. Yeah, it's my comfort. I really do eat. I don't eat to live. I really live to eat. Like, I'm always thinking about that next thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least your awareness is good. That's a lot of hope. But there are commitments. There are choices to be made to stay open. but also to stay to care for this body according to the laws of nature, to really have reverence for what I call God and Mother Nature. And to look at those laws of Mother Nature. Cheeseburgers will not grow on trees when man is gone, but the apples will. Berries will be here. The grapes will be here. All the herbs will be here. But the cooked food won't be. The natural, wholesome, raw, living foods of nature, those are gifts. Those foods not only will dissolve the acid crystals in your joints and antioxidize the toxins that are sitting on your butt and in your thighs and on your stomach and in your colon, but it will also, help to bring beauty to your skin, strength to your hair, clarity to your eyes. Your nose and your smell will increase. Your taste buds, I can just eat, this is how far I've come, Ivy. Now, I was a bodybuilder and I did all kinds of filet mignon and stir-fried vegetables with all these soy sauces and, you name it. Ice cream with the protein powders to put on muscle and get my calories in and all this weird stuff. And so I know all about it. But now I sit down with a box of spinach and it's exciting to me. I know it sounds crazy, but what it is, it's like a reverence. More so than a sensationalism in your neurons. It's more of a real, I'm just thankful. I just did a water fast too. So when I did the water fast, that just accelerates. Now I'm on the juice fasting, but that just accelerates my ability to really enjoy the taste of a piece of lettuce. Now you're ways away from this. So like I said, watch those DVDs, order those today before the sale ends. And then get those in your house, get those in the DVD. And it's like I said, if you go on the accelerated thing, it's going to take you a month at least. If you watch all day, if you do DTM marathons when you get home after work every day with your mom, it's going to take you a month to review all this material. But you're going to see recipes in there, and that they're all DTM approved, because from where you're coming from as a foodie, you're going to need to get in there with your food processor, your little Ninja, and your daily juicing habit. And you're going to need to, just get these recipes. And you and your mom are just going to have to team up. And you're going to be sweating bullets. I know it. I've already been there, done that. Drove back and forth in front of the Thai restaurant, 5 or 6 or 7 years into raw foods, wanting to be 100% raw so bad, but just sweating bullets, and Krista's with me in the van, and I'm driving back and forth in front of this Thai restaurant, doing everything I can to avoid that peanut sauce, which always makes me break out. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And eventually, I got it to where I got more skills. I would bring in avocados. I would bring in the nuts and seeds. I got a better program now, a more well-rounded raw food long-term approach. But I want to help you to accelerate your weight loss by reminding you and everyone watching this video, the two best foods and the way to do it, whether it's disease, whether it's obesity, whether it's arthritis or blood pressure, whole fruits, which are going to clean most of you out way too fast. And that's when you bring in the green juices. Those two things right there, those are the top levels. Never stop working towards that. That being said, on those DVDs, you're going to find the DTM like the lasagna with the tomato sauce. And it's not going to be like the lasagna that you get at the Italian restaurant with the cheese and all the fancy additives and stuff. But it's going to be, it's going to have a little sea salt, a little garlic, and it's going to have the antioxidants. It's going to have the fiber. It's going to have the living water. It's going to have the vegetables. And it's going to be non-toxic, organic ingredients. And so you want to keep working at moving in the direction of the whole fruits and the green juices. Whole fruits, green juices. Whole fruits, green juices. Now, like I said, here's the other thing that I want everyone to consider. Normally I promote 100% raw, but I do know that at times, if you cannot get stabilized with the with the salad dressings, like the coconut almond yogurt basil salad dressing, or you can do like a Cool Ranch like I sent to the Insiders Club the other day. Those have the hemp seeds or the Brazil nuts, and you know, it's you're not going to lose weight as fast, but you'll be able to kind of make it through those white knuckle times when you're tripping and you're thinking, okay, you're like 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 days into like 80% raw or whatever, and you're just going, it's getting to be a bit too much. You're on edge, too much of your stuff is coming up, and you're going to make a worse choice. It's better to make like, okay, Mom, let's make the lasagna, or let's make the DTM chili made out of carrots and almonds, you know? And then it's yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I got some damn good recipes. Now, that's only going to be stabilizers. You're always going to come back to, accelerating yourself with fruit and cherries and grapes and lemons and apples and oranges and bananas. Although the bananas aren't as cleansing. Remember, the high water sweet fruits and the sour and the acid fruits like oranges are really good. The cherries are particularly good. The red cherries are particularly good for the joint problems. So get on those, because they'll be in for the next couple months, and they'll be real good. They're popping right now. And then don't forget about things like celery. You can do like apple and celery. That's what I've got here. Apple, celery, mint, lemon. But you can do cucumber juice. Now, that has not a lot of flavor for a lot of people, but to me, it's pure liquid life, light gold. So when I drink cucumber juice on a hot day, it is like ecstasy for me. It's like the milk of the gods. But you know what? That washes away all that acidosis, all that congestion. Same thing with watermelons, to get the kidneys flushed, to get the colon cleaned out. That's where you're going to want to work. Ivy and Denise, both of you, you want to clean out your colon, because then the kidneys will start dumping, and then the kidneys will start filtering better, which will bring up the adrenals, which will start helping to get the gallbladder working again, get the liver working again, the pancreas will start functioning at a higher level. And then you're going to start seeing major health improvements as you begin to dump the toxins. So you're washing away the toxins with the fruits and the green juice. Now, I was going to make this caveat. The other thing that works to put on the brakes a little bit, if you're tripping, is a little bit of steamed vegetables. Okay? Now, why is that? Because that'll just help you to, it'll take the edge off. You know, people get to they hit the wall. And they'll be there 4 or 5 days into this, or maybe they're sober for 3 months, and all their stuff starts coming up because all their other exit strategies quit working, and they hit the wall, and then the next thing they know, they don't have a little thing to take the edge off just to get through that day, and they just can't make it through, and they end up going to get high again, and next thing you know, 6 months later, they're getting back to me, Dan, I'm sorry, man, I shot up again, I don't know what happened. And now I'm totally strung out again and back on crappy foods, and I've gained all the weight back. Can you help me? So I'm like, with the steamed vegetables, beets are still cleansing when they're steamed. Only in the sense, only in the sense that they're not going to be toxic like like this crap at the restaurants. I mean, I can go to restaurants, but the only thing I ever order is a salad. I don't want the Parmesan cheese. I don't want the dressings. I don't want their cooked foods. I don't want their nasty food. I go to like organic, high conscious restaurants, and that's it. And I order a salad with sprouts and tomatoes and cucumber. And that's it. I don't want any of that junk in my body. I don't believe in it. I don't want it. I've worked way too hard. And my health is absolutely precious to me. Can you dig it?
Right.
Okay, so now, I like I said, you guys are going to need to talk to somebody. Today was more informational because I got to make sure that I'm just dumping it out onto this video about what you can do. So after you watch those DVDs that I suggested, which is the weight loss thing, you'll have a better handle on how you're going to flush your system. But here's a couple of different protocols just for y'all to think of right now so you can get started tonight with a salad, and then tomorrow here's the ultimate scenario. I'll give you 3 of my favorite scenarios, okay?
Okay.
I just did a reboot program that's going to be available too. So keep your eyes peeled for that, because that brings in the cultured foods, and that also brings in the enzymes as well, therapy, as well as the juicing therapy. That's going to be launched in a couple of months. And that's just a stabilizer too that would also help you. I wish that was available now. Juicing Mastery is going to be launched next month. So keep your eyes peeled for that, because on that one I've got like 40 juice recipes, all with and all the specific ailments. I have specific juices for arthritis, for weight loss, for pain. Okay, so everyone keep your eyes peeled for that too, coming next month, and the reboot program. Now, but I'm going to go over a couple of scenarios here for you and for the viewer here as well, okay? So number one, best case scenario is kind of like this. Let's go from ultimate best case scenario in for your particular case. Like I could say, oh, go on a water fast, but you're not ready for that, okay? Ultimately, 1, 2, and 3 day water fasts, 5 days, even 7 days by yourself. After that, you want to do your first couple water fasts supervised. But you may want to do that one of these days, because that's the major accelerator and purifier of the body. But there's also the master cleanse. You can do the master cleanse for 1, 2, or 10 days, which is lemon and honey and cayenne. I don't use maple syrup. I recommend honey. It's got enzymes. It's got nutrients. It's good for your immune system. So you can do the master cleanse, which is like the next best case scenario. But I'm just moving from, I'm saying water fasting, which is not where you are, but you want to learn about that too. I mentioned that in the DVDs. But maybe let that seed be planted in both your guys' head, okay, right now. Because you may want to take this thing to the end, totally heal, cleanse, and regenerate your body. You may want to take the next 5 or 10 years to do that and totally turn your life around and add another 20, 30, 40, 50 years to your life, okay? So water fasting, then you got the master cleanse. I don't think you guys are there yet. You need to really get a better relationship with food. So what I'm going to suggest is, so that you can have this fun relationship with food, but also make sure that you're getting some results so that you stay excited. If you don't get results, you're not going to be excited, okay? But so number one is wake up in the morning and you have 32 ounces, 24 to 32. Some people can't do the full 32 ounces of water. I slam 32 ounces of lemon water in one drink, no problem. But 24 to 32 ounces of lemon water. First thing in the morning, okay? And then the next thing is a juice, maybe orange juice, maybe apple, celery, lemon juice, maybe a lemon ginger blast, maybe a carrot apple ginger, whatever. So 32 ounces of water, then 32 ounces of juice. For breakfast around, I don't know, depends on what your habits are. I usually don't even have anything until no earlier than 9, and usually my first juice will be around noon. I might have a fruit meal around 3, and then I'll have a salad around 6, 7, or 8, depending upon the day. But for you, I want to suggest, you know, water, juice, fruit meal. Okay, that's like the best. That's like the best case scenario right there. Water, juice, 32 ounces of juice, and then a fruit meal of 2 to 4 different kinds of delicious fruits, cherries or mangoes, or and eating one at a time. Okay, so mono meals, like one at a time, not mixing everything together so much, but really getting the satiation of eating like 6 mangoes and then maybe a half a pound to a pound of cherries. That would be a great meal. Now that's the best case scenario. I don't expect anyone to jump into that, but some people, very few, maybe 2 to 3% of the people can actually go, to put their mind to that kind of thing and actually go through the process of white knuckles, sweating bullets, totally wishing they could go get a pizza but not doing it and just eating the fruit anyways, and then just laying on the floor going into the EBGBs of that intense emotional release. Most people like to bite it off a little bit at a time so that it's not so intense, which is probably the best way to do it. Slowly and surely can definitely win the race. So that's case scenario number 1. Case scenario number 2 for the weight loss, arthritis, and blood pressure, okay, is going to be water, 32 ounces of water, a juice, a smoothie, and then a salad. That's a really balanced program right there. And the juice and the smoothie is cool because the juice is your coffee. It gets you going here. The lemon ginger blast will get the cells woke up, will get you fired up, get you started, get you on your way. Okay? Now, number 2, the smoothie. You know, you're ready to eat something, but you don't want to get bogged down with like a chicken salad or go out and have pasta for lunch. So at noon or whatever, or 1, the rest of your day is shot after that, and you know it. You know what I'm saying? I eat the pasta. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Definitely.
It's a drug and it knocks you out, and then your productivity's gone. But a nice banana, mango, spinach, coconut water smoothie, you're satiated, satisfied, and energized, but not bogged down. And then what you do is what you do to really get through this and to have very productive days is you look forward to that evening salad, whether it's a raw food entree or a salad. I recommend the salad, a nice, tender, leafy green salad. And so that's that's probably where I think that you and your mom could handle it, because you might sweat bullets a little during the day. God, I wish I could have a cheeseburger or an ice cream or whatever it is your trip is during the day when you're kind of stressed out, because I know how it is at the medical establishments, and the cafeteria sucks and the whole place is insane. The stress of the medical establishment is terrible. But you've got your smoothie in your cooler. So you have your juice. You're flushing, alkalizing, antioxidizing, and getting rid of all those toxins. Number 2, you are having the smoothie to stabilize, satiate, energize. Then, hey mom, what kind of salad do you want for dinner tonight? Let's have spinach and cilantro, tomato, cucumber, and let's have that awesome, cool ranch dressing that Dan made with cucumber or coconut hemp seed yogurt and the dill and the garlic and a little bit of sea salt. And you put that on there, and it's delicious, and it's fun, and you sit down and you throw a DTM DVD in there, and you eat your salad with chopsticks. I like to eat with chopsticks because it makes me go slow instead of a pitchfork. It's shoveling it in like people do with hay, you know. I just use the chopsticks, so I have 1 tomato at a time, 1 cucumber chunk at a time, 1 piece of spinach at a time, and it takes me an hour or an hour and a half to eat my salad, and I chew everything really well so that it gets masticated, okay? And so that's the scenario I'd like to see for you. We're running out of time here, but I think that is the best thing for you guys to start. You do your juice, you do your water, you do your juice, you do your smoothie, you do your salad. There's a couple other things I'd like to throw in here before we got to go. This thing will shut off. But number 1, do you have a rebounder yet?
No.
Get one. Both of you. Bounce at least 20 minutes a day and get this thing moving forward. A rebounder is a mini trampoline. 20 minutes a day is all it takes. If you can find an hour a day, you will start losing a lot of weight. Okay?
Wow.
Bounce, bounce, bounce. It's simple, fun, easy. You put on some awesome music. If you guys want, get 2 of them. Get a high quality one. Bounce together. What the heck? You know what I mean? But just at least get 20 minutes a day to move this thing forward. It'll help you detox the lymphatic system. If you're interested in moving forward as well, you can use the enzyme therapy, which is going to help to break up all the debris in your GI tract, which is definitely in there from all that food. It'll help. You can get the Pyrazyme, which is a therapeutic enzyme, very highly concentrated, to start to break down all the junk. Enzymes allow certain substrates to connect together and create metabolic functions in the body. And when we eat all that junk food, our pancreas starts to shut down, our liver starts to shut down, everything shuts down. And so the enzymes can accelerate some cleansing and activity in the body that would otherwise be a little bit more sluggish. So you might want to check out Pyrazyme, get some enzymes too, so you guys can start accelerating that with the rebounding, the enzymes. Massage is really good. Colonics are very helpful. So just look into this. Get healthy. It's all on the DVDs. For the viewer, there's a link down below, and everything's on sale for a couple more days. You really want to get it if you've ever thought about getting my information into your head and into your heart. Now's the time to do it, because once the sale's over, it'll be like probably another year before we have another sale on everything together. So anything else, Ivy, before we got another minute?
No, we're pumped. We're pumped and we're ready. And it sounds doable, Dan. I really want to be healthy. We both do. And it has to be a lifestyle for I want to